Hello guys, today we will discuss one of the techniques that rely on a well-known legitimate web services or social media websites to perform a certain task or transfer a piece of information to a malware. This technique has been used by a Russian malware where the attackers created a malware that connects to their Twitter account, and then the malware searched for a specific URL in that tweet which contains an image which also contains an encrypted command. The idea that we will talk about today is taken from a Russian malware called Hamartos. If you Google this really quickly, and you can find a detailed report from FireEye about this stealthy malware and how it works. Now, I really recommend to download this report as it contains a very interesting information to read. Okay, another way to take an advantage of Twitter is to make the attacker or the hacker machine sends a command as a normal tweet to our Twitter account, and on the other hand, the target will parse that tweet later on and execute this command. Now notice that there is no direct communication between the attacker and its target. The benefits of using this technique that first of all, Twitter is a trusted website and it has a pretty good reputation and whitelisted. Second point, it's very hard to detect because a security engineer will never thought that this data or this session might contain a malicious information from an attacker. Okay, now let's see how easy to get a tweet without even logging into a Twitter. Now for this demonstration, I created an account on Twitter and I made a tweet called Hello from Python. Now let's have a quick look on the page, on the source code of this page. On your keyboard, if you type Ctrl and U, it's gonna open the source code or for this page, the HTML source code. And if we search for our tweet, which is Hello from Kali Python, so I will go here and type Ctrl F and then search for it, we can see it here. But notice that the HTML meta tag, the first tag parameter has a value of description, and the second parameter, which is called content, is the one that contains our actual tweet. Now we're gonna use these HTML tags to parse the HTML page and extract the exact tweet using Python. Let's get started. Python has a library called Beautiful Soup, which is a very well-known library used to parse an HTML pages. Let's start with installing this library, and I'm gonna type pip, then install, then Beautiful Soup 4. Okay. Next step, I created an Python file here. So let's start with importing the necessary libraries that we're gonna use. And I will start with a Beautiful Soup. So it is called BS4. And from Beautiful Soup, we're gonna import a Beautiful Soup class. So import Beautiful Soup, and let's call this class as Soapy, for example. And then we will import URL library.request so we can fetch the HTML page of my Twitter account. So I'm gonna type import URL library or lib.request. And finally, we're gonna import RE or regular expression so we can parse and filter out the output to get our tweet. So let me just quickly run this script to make sure that we imported the libraries correctly. Okay, perfect. Okay, so we're gonna start by opening the URL first. So let me type HTML and then I'm gonna use URL library.request and then URL open, and then we need to pass the URL that we want to open, and in this case it's my Twitter account. Let me go back and paste and close the parentheses, and then I'm gonna use the read function to return the response body of that URL. So read. Okay, next step, so we're gonna pass the HTML page that we just got into soapy function, and then we're gonna parse the output or set our parser to HTML. So I'm gonna create an object called soup, and we're gonna use the soapy class or beautiful soapy class that we just imported here, and then I'm gonna pass the HTML and also set a features to HTML parser, html.parser. Okay, let's try to run this one really quick. Okay, perfect, no errors. This step is to use the find function to get the HTML tag that we found in the page source code. So let's go back to the source code, and it was meta, and the name of that tag was description. So let's go back here, and I'm gonna say, for example, X, and then the object was soup, and the function is find, and then we open the parentheses, and in the first item I'm gonna type meta, and then we pass as a dictionary name, and then the value, the key was name, and the value was description, and close the dictionary, and then close the parentheses. Okay, let's try, and let me type print X really quick, and here instead of meat it should be meta too, actually. So meta. Okay, so here you can see the entire line that we got from HTML. We can even filter based on the content. So if we copy and paste as is, so content, and let's try to run again, this was gonna get the value of this content key. So let me just run again. And as you can see, we're gonna need to filter out this a little bit more, because we don't need the entire output. We just need the string that is between these double quotation, which is basically our tweet. And that where regular expression becomes in handy. So with regular expression, we can do a filter or a final filter to print only the exact string between these double quotes. And I will use find all function from regular expression. So let's create an object called filter, and then regular expression dot find all, and then I will type R, then single quotes. This R tells the regular expression that this is a raw string. And right now inside this, I'm gonna type the following. I'm gonna type double quotes, and inside the double quotes I will put parentheses. Oops, and inside the parentheses I'm gonna type dot star. So what does that mean? This means that filter any character between these double quotes, and then finally add them to a capture group. Okay, so after we specify our filter pattern, we just need to pass X, which contains the output of the filtered HTML. So let me save, and I will type print, then filter. Let's do a quick run. And as you can see here, here is our filter string. I would just need to comment this. So this line contains our filtered tweet, and as you can see, it is within a list. So to print out this text only, we just need to tell like the first item of this list. So let me just run the script one more time. And as you can see, we should get the tweet only. In the next exercise, you will see how we can use this script in a real world scenario. Thanks for watching.